Tune in, turn up, it's time to go. Deep talks and a crazy show. It's Toon Along, yeah, you know the name. Big ideas, fun and games. Hit that play, don't miss a beat. This is the podcast where we all meet.
Hey, yeah, we're back. What's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be watching an episode of Freakazoid, Season 1, Episode 11, like the good old days. And you guys ready? Let's cue it up. If you guys got it, pause. Just get that episode ready. And we're going to start now in 3, 2, 1, play. There's Bugs Bunny biting down on the carrot. With good old Freakazoid, the intro starting up right now. Just a really weird character, a real freak. I think probably just another character made by one of the animators of, in WB, the WB, universe. They just said, let's work on a few other characters. Let's see what we can do. And then they made this one. It turned out to be a pretty cool looking character. They went with it. That's what I like about DC. DC, when it comes to animation, there's probably no better company today that works on cartoons. Not CG, but cartoons itself. Warner Brothers is the best company in the world right now. They're better than Disney. They just, with their superhero, like if you look at the Marvel movies, sure, maybe Marvel beats DC in that range on the movie level, but when it comes to the cartoon level, DC and WB, the team right there, Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, Tim Bruce, Alan Burnett, all those guys. Oh, next time vote ahead. Let's see what the sound. Just doesn't it feel like a Batman animated series? Listen to that. They're in the woods. Kind of feels like Brave Little Toaster a little bit too. It's the Technodrome. Look, it just landed. The Technodrome. Just make a spaceship. I'm sure it's a lot harder to make a ball spaceship. I don't know. I could be wrong. It probably does exist. And those creatures probably exist too. Looks like Casper. Hurry up. This is only a 5-minute rest. They're going inside the woods. The music does everything for this show. If you were to cancel out the music right now, it'd be a completely different show. That's the other thing about Warner Brothers is they have a very good symphony. They have a great symphony, a great production team. They've been making movies and animation and cartoons for years. Come on, get out of there, guys. People with flashlights coming in. And kitchen phones. There's a big lighted Technodrome, all kinds of light. If you saw that, I don't know if you'd be running towards it. You might be more scared of it. I don't know what the real reaction would be. Depends. Some of these guys are fearless. They're on duty and they're fearless. There it goes. And where's the mind, the mind wipe? Pew! I left behind a shard of toilet paper. Oh, they're not that smart. Well, after hear what of... Oh, they never show the faces, right? I mean, they do show some of the faces, but that's another technique you can use in animation. If you just want to have certain characters, certain filler characters, whatever, plot characters, just don't show the face. You can tell a lot with a story by just having them talk like Charlie Brown adults. Okay, man. That kid looks like the kid from what's that movie with Macaulay Culkin's? Oh, The Page Master. Christopher Lloyd, Macaulay Culkin's The Page Master. If you go back, that looks like the kid. Richard, come over here. Everything you can find is in a book. Oh. But I don't know. There's just something about him. He kind of looks like he belongs a little bit of in like an 80s anime. That's a cool looking monster. It's like half crab, half lobster, half mantis. Oh, that's Steven Spielberg. That's Steven Spielberg right there. He's got a huge influence, especially in Animaniacs. So when you think of Animaniacs, think of Steven Spielberg. There he is. So this is probably one of Steven Spielberg's characters. And he said, guys, we're making my cartoon. Or we're making my nephew's cartoon. This guy's a genius. Honestly, Steven Spielberg is probably one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Whoa. Animaniacs. I don't ever remember seeing Animaniacs and Freakazoid. What's going on? Okay, there we go. We're back. Bring back Animaniacs. So, that's the other thing about this. The show is very aware of itself. Animaniacs and now Freakazoid. When you watch Freakazoid, we still haven't even seen the main character. I haven't seen Freakazoid. You know, haven't seen him. When's he supposed to come out? When are you going to see that wackiness? It's been 5 minutes now. There. It's inside his head. Okay, so that guy transforms into Freakazoid. That's what it is. Who's the voice actor? That's the thing. This show's very wacky. This is like the Nickelodeon of the Warner Brothers universe. Think of something more wacky than Freakazoid in Nickelodeon. And I mean in WB. I mean Nickelodeon's filled with it, right? But in the DC WB universe, hey, look, they have live action shots from World War II or the Korean War. The F and the exclamation just looks like he's saying fuck. If you were to show this to a European country who's never seen this show and you were to translate this, they would probably say crazy Americans, right? But there's something wacky about it. There's something that's got this Japanese anime feel to it. And that's the thing about DC. That's the thing I love about DC is when they make their shows, when they make their content, they're very aware of themselves, and they know where they're paying homage to. They're paying homage to, all the great creators. This looks like the guy who created Princess Mononoke. All those great animes. It's an episode. It's not a movie, so obviously they're not going to put that much, money into it to make it look like a movie. But just take a look at it. Look how well it's done. This could definitely pass for a movie. If they were to spend maybe one season and spend the same amount of time on 2 seasons for 1 season, this show might have been one of the greatest shows ever made. I don't know why this show's not talked about, or honestly, it's probably one of the less mainstream nostalgic shows. I don't see a lot of content on Freakazoid. I could be wrong. Maybe the Freakazoid world out there is huge, but I just feel that since 2003 up until 2013, nobody talked about Freakazoid. It was basically, if you were lucky to find a few episodes online, if you could. Then later on, it came out on Amazon, and I'm sure a bunch of people bought it, but maybe not that many people bought it. I don't know. But I don't know. I hope it gets more popularity. I hope they come back with it. And I hope you enjoy this show. This is a great show. Imagine you're sitting down Saturday mornings on Fox Kids, Freakazoid's on. This would have been like 95, 96, right? Oh, we're going back to the gift shop. Wait, Hall of Infinity things. Everything they show in these cartoons from Warner Brothers, I feel like there's some truth to them. The alien aspect, all the conspiracy theory parts of cartoons. I feel like there's some truth to it. I don't know if it's all true, but I feel like there's some truth to it. There's definitely some UFOs out there for sure. Oh, do you guys remember going to like sporting games, like going to watch a baseball game, football game, and people just walk around with those pretzel trays and beer and popcorn and all that stuff. Just reminds me, I wish I could get one of those just to walk around and put my food on there. Leave it in my car, But if I want to go out and just go grab it, put it in there, bring a few more items, I can literally bring all the items in one go instead of having to go through drive-through, or maybe just go inside, take my time, and pick what I want, bring my tray with me. Arl! Freakazoid. Freakazoid kind of feels a little bit like the Joker too, right? Like when you think about it, it kind of feels like some multiverse of the Joker sitcom. And this character here just looks like every alien character from Hanna-Barbera. Or a variation of them, right? You got the Great Wazoo. Then you got the guy from Batman, Batmite. You got, isn't there one from the Flintstones as well, or Jetsons? Oh, and the Jetsons, there's one. All the ones with the big heads and all that. But they just feel like they put every piece of a recipe for a good show that need to be put in here is in here. The only thing I would say is missing in this show is I think maybe the main character, when he's not in character, when he's not Freakazoid, can get old. I can see that happening. But there's just not a lot of other things happening in this show. Like this guy, this big character right here is just a little boring for me. I gave Boron the bad news. Listen, buddy. I'm going to spray it down here. You smell like shit. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope everybody out there is doing good. If you guys are driving right now, take it easy. Don't go too fast. If you're at work, take it easy. Don't go too fast. And if you're at home right now or wherever you are, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, you guys are the best. Look, more live action. What movie is that from? They definitely got the rights from it. This might just be stock footage from the military. I don't know. That's crazy. No, this is a movie. You can see the sparks. But anyways, so yeah. So if you're thinking about it, if you guys are thinking about watching a good show tonight with anybody out there in the world, why not watch a good episode of Freakazoid? Freakazoid's a great show, and season 1, episode 11, is gonna keep you glued to your couch for sherbs. Order yourself a nice slice of pizza with some shrimp. And maybe a little bit of chicken. Dip in sauce. Take a nice shit after. Take a nice dump out in the toilet after eating all that good food. Come back, sit down, watch some Freakazoid. Make sure you wipe your ass. There's the aliens. There's the Technodrome. He came back. He finally came back to save us. Oh, mercy. Oh, when I see a rooftop like that and people are standing on it, it reminds me of Tony Hawk for the GameCube. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 or 4, one of the twos. You're going around and you're in like a little suburban neighborhood, a little ghetto neighborhood, and you're just railing around on the top of the wooden posts, wooden fences, then trying to kickflip on top of a house on the electrical wires. It's probably one of the greatest games ever made. That one and the one for the N64 is really good. The newest one that came out, I'm not a big fan of. I don't think a lot of people were actually. However, I think they said they're remaking certain other ones, so we'll see what happens. But Tony Hawk, I'm sure, just wants to make a good game, have fun with skateboarding, and promote the sport. It's not his fault the game didn't come out that well. So, but speaking of the old games, they just bring back good memories. Sitting there on Saturday afternoons, playing some Tony Hawk after watching that morning-long Saturday morning cartoons, Freakazoid. Maniacs. I love how they just put that in there randomly. Nerdator. Nerdator. Yeah, that guy's voice, he's like the explanation voice. Whenever there's a science video, and that's the way the chemical reacts with fusion. Oh, shit. You imagine the 1950s is probably one of the greatest times to live if you're, in the sense that your mind is so new to the concept of aliens and space and abductions and all kinds of stuff, right? Brains, eating your brains, all these movies. It came from outer space. And they put that on the TV, and it's the only thing you see, and it's the only thing you think about when the lights are off and your mom's at home. So you just think about it. It's probably one of the coolest concepts to have brought to you. If you think about it today, if you were to bring that today and talk about, I guess, consciousness or some form of space travel, that it does exist. I guess people are not going to be as surprised as they would be back then, right? Same with computers, same with all kinds of stuff. But it's just fun to think about. Fun to think about the 60s and the 70s, the way it transitioned into video games and, Pac-Man, Tetris. Even before then, we had Pong and the ColecoVision, all those good games. So I just think of the respect that WB pays towards history, towards the things that brought us to where we are and who we are. They paid respect to things throughout modern times. When in Animaniacs, when Bill Clinton plays the sax, they're doing all kinds of stuff that's modern. They're paying respect to the history, to the modern times. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And some stuff is fun. Some stuff is just, whatever it is, it's all right. But at least they're doing something. I feel like today they're not doing none of that. There's no jokes. There's no, they're being very careful what they say, what they play with in terms of what you can talk about on cartoons now. But now cartoons are just wacky. They're just wacky. They're all over the place to see who can be the wackiest, who can try and brain fuck the next person more than the last. And you just watch these old cartoons and you just feel that sense of simplicity. And after watching a cartoon like this during springtime, what's the first thing you want to do? Go outside and play. And you just had a big moral boost in your system of a nice show like Freakazoid that's today not even that wacky if you think about it, compared to the shows that are out now. So it's just fun to look back and laugh and see these old shows and just remember all the good memories we had with them, right? Oh, there's the Nerderator or the Nerdator. The Nerdator. Oh, that TV. I love TVs like a best way to play an SNES or an NES. Even an N64. Up to an N64. I'd say up into an N64, even a PS2. If you want to play on a tube TV, go for it. If you have HDMI capability, like GameCube had HDMI, but GameCube still has RCA input. But if you can get the GameCube HDMI input for $300, go for it. Otherwise, I would say it's perfectly fine to have, to have yourself one of them RCA inputs up on that tube. But if you're going to go tube, if you're going to go any RCA input, go on the tube, right? If you're going to go on the flat screen, it's not going to do you any good. You're just going to complain about the pixelation unless you get yourself one of those FrameMeister converters, something that can basically change the analog to digitize it. Oh, I'm holding right now. I want to take a picture. I'm going to show you guys. I'm holding a Goosebumps medallion. If you guys remember, they had these medallions, these 3D medallions that characters would have been embedded on the inside, and I have two of them now. I have Slappy and I have the Mummy. So I'm hoping to get them together at some point. Just put them together. Like the string that's on it isn't necessarily in the best of shape, but if I just play with it and I move it around, it should be all right. But I'll take a good picture of it and show you guys. Try and see if I can capture that 3D angle. But it's really cool the way it was done. I don't remember how they did that, but just really nifty. Nice to see Scholastic really putting it out there. Even Freakazoid. Look at this, Freakazoid. Great show. If you guys remember Scholastic, great. Oh, I just remember those days. Those little catalogs you were given once a month, maybe twice a month sometimes. And then you picked the book you want to have, or you kind of saved up for the book you wanted that came with a little surprise or a toy or medallion. And just a nice little treat for your hard work paying off at school, for your good grades, right? Anyways. And Freakazoid. So Saturday morning you're watching Freakazoid. I don't think any other time you're going to watch Freakazoid, right? It's a Saturday morning show. Fox Kids. I think Fox Kids had it at one point. But to be honest, Cartoon Network. I know Cartoon Network is the main network for it. Kids WB, Batman Beyond. Yeah, because Batman Beyond was on Saturday mornings on Fox Kids. And also on YTV. So YTV in Canada might have played Freakazoid. They may have played it. I'm sure they would have. They would have given it a chance, seen what it would have done. Same with Power Rangers. For those of you guys that don't know, up in Canada back in the 90s, 94, 93, 94, 95, 96, somewhere around there, Power Rangers comes on the air in Canada on YTV. And it's a big deal. It's not a small deal. It's a big deal. It's probably the first big thing on YTV where people are super excited. Power Rangers was a show to talk about. So it comes out. And I remember Phil, PJ Phil, I remember Snit talking about it. And just having a 2, 3, 4-parter series in a row of the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, having all kinds of episodes nonstop. Power Rangers was the main thing on YTV, and then all of a sudden they decided to cancel after 2 years. I think it was 2 years, maybe even one season, something like that. They may have slowed down with it, but then they just cut it all together. And then no more Power Rangers in Canada for quite a few years until maybe Fox Kids had it. In the late 90s, I want to say the late 90s. 98, I got maybe some Power Rangers. I remember Dino SPD. It's not a disease, it's a Power Ranger, right? It's Speed Lytra Force, whatever it's fucking called, with Dino Thunder, the one with the Wild Force. Oh, that's the end of the episode, guys. But just see, watching a show like this just brings back good memories. Good times. Well, Kids WB. If you think Kids WB, and they used to play in the morning, right? Mega Man, NT Warrior used to play during the week in the morning. Mostly during the summer. I would say in the summer, the summertime lineup from WB, CW, all those shows they used to play, right? All those shows together. Earthworm Jim. Just the greatest times. But just the greatest lineup, if you think about it. One of the greatest lineups ever assembled. It's one of the greatest lineups ever assembled. Oh. So I hope everybody out there is going to be doing all right. And we're going to hopefully do some more episodes in the upcoming future. Stay tuned for more commercials on YouTube. Go check out Twitter. Go check out Facebook, all that shit. And don't be shy, and thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button, do all that stuff that you're supposed to do there, and I'll see you guys later. We'll see you in the next episode. All right. So be cool. Don't take a shit everywhere. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite platforms. Check out YouTube for retro content. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and visit toonalong.com for more info. Support us on Patreon, and we'll catch you next time.
Toon Along, yeah, you know the name. Big ideas, fun and games. Hit that play, don't miss a beat. This is the podcast where